Welcome, everybody. Welcome to another great. Wow, I am super happy to actually be here for my first episode of the interview series Heart of Hollywood magazine. Welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. Yes, and please bear with me. This is my first show. I am ready for the fame, baby. I am ready for the fame. So, welcome, everybody. Welcome to the show. And just to give you a little bit of synopsis as far as what this interview series is going to be like, it's all about the experiences and the journeys of artists in the entertainment industry, influencers, fashion designers, models, anyone that's actually in film, such as actors and directors and all of that great stuff. So I'm super happy to actually be here because you know what? My name is Rico No Suave, baby. Yeah, let's get it. Oh, Rico No Suave. Yes, I am here. So get ready because this interview series is going to be hype. This interview series is going to be the bomb. And I am so ready for you guys to enjoy it with me. Hey, with further ado, I have this gentleman that's actually here with me. He is an actor. This gentleman is actually have been in commercials. He has been doing so much around the world that I'm so happy to call him my friend. He is my buddy, long lost pal. I also, of course, a lot of people know about me. So this is why I actually brought him to be my first guest on the Heart of Hollywood magazine. I want you guys to put your hands together, stand up, read. If you got a script, may I have memory block. Put your hands together for none other than my man. His name is Marquise Martin Hayes. Let's see if he's there. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. What's happening, Papa? How you doing?
You, Papa, you're happening, hermano. Win in your life. Congratulations, sir.
Thank you, man. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. I am so happy that you are my first guest on my show.
It's my honor. But listen, they don't know it yet, but you are the man. Listen, really quick. This guy is phenomenal. Rico No Suave is known as the man above men throughout Chicago and our entire region as being an honest man, a pure man, a man who brings energy to the space, who brings integrity to the space with a whole lot of fun. So it's so deserved, long overdue. Congratulations, brother.
Thank you so much, man. Thank you, man. That means a lot to me. That means a lot to me. Yeah, too sorry, man. I might be speaking Spanglish to you because you already know I get into my Spanglish aspects of things. But man, thank you, Marquise. Man, it's such a blessing to actually have you here on the show as far as with me. Hollywood, here I come, baby. I'm here already, but it's going to go even further, right?
Yes. I was just in Hollywood Hills 2 days ago, man, looking out over LA and imagining, yeah, that's the next step.
That's the next step. Yeah. Next step, baby. Hey, so enough about, thank you so much, Papa. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. So let's get right into you.
Okay.
You know, being an actor, you know, it starts from somewhere, right? So what was your inspiration in becoming an actor?
Wow. So here's the deal. I've always had like this desire to entertain. Grew up dancing, break dancing around Germany and all those things. And then I learned to speak and empower people. And I began to discover how beautiful that was. And then I started doing some modeling and acting, you know, grew up doing church plays and stuff like that. That was normal. But I saw the effect that it could have on people. And so I would do some things here and there. My brother, King Jaquel Martin, he's out in Hollywood already, was saying, you should try acting, man. You'd be really good. I'm like, I don't know. And then one day I was doing a Harley Davidson commercial. And while I was sitting there as the lead actor, there were other actors, union actors sitting around asking me, what are you waiting for, man? You have the skill, the talent. And what I realized was I was shy and I was insecure. So I would never allow myself to try it. Yeah. But they challenged me and said, if you're really serious about this thing, go get an agent. Here's the beauty of it. I said, okay, fine. I'll go look for an agent, but I'm only going to do it my way. I don't recommend this, by the way, to anyone. Who accepts applications online? Because I didn't want to go sit in an office. I found 4 agencies in Chicago. I submitted like 2 weeks later. The next morning, I submitted at like 7:30 one night. The next morning, 9:30 the next day, I had my first interview. I've been with that agency ever since, man. So that's what got me started. Just a little nudge here, a little nudge there to come out of
Yeah.
my shell.
Oh, that's awesome, man. That's awesome, baby. Yeah, I think when you actually start off and get that first, that first gig,
Yeah.
there's a lot that's involved in regards to getting. It's like me right now, right? Having that first gig as far as within Hollywood, and then you start seeing as far as the growth within yourself. Let me ask you a question. When you actually knew that you were going to actually get that first gig from the agency itself, what was that feeling like?
Wow. Okay. So it was so surreal because two things were happening simultaneously. I had already signed a contract, I was already exclusive, but I hadn't done any real work. And I was sitting in a training thinking, whatever was going on, I was tuned to that training. That training was dealing with anxiety, and I didn't realize I had anxiety around my experience in life and my skills and my appearance, right? Like that's part of acting.
Sure.
And so I realized during that time that I had anxiety, and then it was sort of like, why? You already have a contract. But when I let go of the anxiety, within like a week or two, I booked 2 gigs that October. I remember it specifically. And Sears, which was relevant at the time. Sears commercial. And so it was really cool, man. I was like, I got a chance to be in a commercial that was national. People saw me in other states. And it was just a really neat experience to be seen and realize, yeah, you're that guy. And they selected you. And so it was fun, man. It was like a little kid just getting a snack in their lunchbox, like a little surprise, Jack in the
You
Box.
definitely said Sears, and sometimes a lot of people don't know about Sears, but maybe J.C. Penney. But even if so, my
Yeah.
mom used to take me to Sears and J.C.
Yeah.
Penney just for some school clothes.
Look, man, I remember going. And to be even more specific, it was Craftsman, which at the time was owned by Sears, but it was the Craftsman.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my first opportunity.
Hey, I have to say, having that first gig, it's like having that first dollar that you put up if you owned a restaurant to say, this is my first dollar that I actually had
Yeah.
for my restaurant. And for you, it was kind of like, do they give you like a certificate or anything like that? Or
I wanted to take it to school. I was like, can I keep the bib that said Craftsman on it or something? Man, I listen. I took that thing. I shared it with people. I got calls from all over the place. And then
Yeah.
one of the other ones that was around that time
Yeah.
was Northwestern Hospital. It's really big in Chicago. I
Sure.
was up on a building that was 3 stories high, not by myself, but I was a part of an ad that was 3 stories high. So I would get
Wow.
these random calls like, dude, we see you on the hospital downtown. I'm like, what? They're like, yeah, you
Wow.
gotta come see it. So, it was a combination of, yes, my first gig, but also my people acknowledging it and seeing it that made it super special.
That's special, man. That's
Yeah.
special. To be able to have yourself on a billboard, I think that's really,
Yeah.
it's really cool. It's a blessing to be able to have that,
Yeah.
and also, knowing that you ride past that, not just because you want to see yourself,
Yeah.
but you ride past and just say, hey,
Yeah.
hey, that's me right there.
Yeah.
Now
It,
let's talk about the aspect of acting. A lot
yes.
of people, think that acting is just about picking up a script, or maybe someone give you a script and say, "Hey, just remember these lines," and then go from there.
Yeah.
In your detail, for you,
Mhm.
when you were going through the process of becoming an actor, or helping yourself build as an actor, what was those steps like?
Well, the first couple steps were number one, getting some classes. I went the one-on-one route with Harold Dennis, who's like a really profound Chicago actor. Hopefully, he'll get a chance to be on here. And he really trained me and helped me learn how to start removing emotions. One of the things that was interesting that most of us, I think, do who think we can act is
Yeah.
come to the script like, oh, I can do this. And so we come with preconceived ideas, notions, emotions, thinking we know who the character is. Harold taught me how to get my mind rid of that so that I could come to it bare and
Yeah.
see what would happen and allow the magic of acting to show up versus this idea in my head and trying to convey it. The other thing that really helped me, I'm a fan of the Chubbuck technique. And essentially, what that's all about is taking my real life experience and placing that into the character. So that anything that shows up on camera, it's real. It's really
Yes.
real. The words are different than the real experience, but I'm coming through as my natural self from experiences that support it.
I think that's a really great thing because people see the real you, right? They
Yes,
see exactly who Marquise Martin Hayes is,
yes,
and it's
yes,
like, wow, he's really like that in real person.
yeah,
Where you do have, of course, certain roles, which I'm going to ask you about next, is that as an actor, you always have these influences. You have people that you look up to and you say, hey, man, I really like the way this person acts.
yeah.
And I love the way the movies that this person is actually in. For yourself, because you're so natural with it and because you love what you do and you want people to see the real you,
Yeah.
do you ever see yourself like what role do you love to actually play when you're actually doing either, I wouldn't just say commercial, I would say in a film, in a movie? Is it the villain, is it the good guy, is it the family man? Which
Yeah.
one really stands out for you when it comes to acting?
That's so funny. Uh, It's always the good guy, right? I'm the good guy. I'm like that dude, right? I'm waiting to play a villain, man. I want to be the
Really?
bad boy so bad. I'm like, I can be the bad boy, but it's one of those things that I haven't been afforded yet, and I know why. I recently just did a photo shoot in LA, and I'm bringing all this. I got that Grim Reaper look, so I hope that that'll start to occur. But I played basically the good guy, right? The
Yes.
fatherly role, that cool uncle. That's been the role that I played, and I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun.
Yes.
But I wanna take
So
some credit.
that villain though, that villain, it's like, I love the photo and I wish I can show the audience, but
007?
the 007, the 007 photo of yourself,
Yeah.
people, you have to see it. If you want to see it, just, I'll post it somewhere for you guys. But I always kept that photo of you
Yeah.
because that shows you and just the way you are when you dress, that classy man, right? That
Yes.
classy actor that just has all like the secret tools of life to be able to make things happen for yourself. And that becomes, I mean, that's part of acting, of course, as well.
Mhm.
Being that villain, though,
Yeah.
that you would love to actually play as far as a villain. Would you like to be a villain, or villains can come in any different ways?
Any
But
form. Any form.
what type of villain? Is it more horror? Was it more action? Which one would you like?
Good. More of that thriller type, right? Like
Thriller.
that sinister mind where I'm playing the mind game, but you don't know it. You're wondering, is he the good guy? Can I actually trust him? But he's
Yeah.
also like psycho, right? So having to dive into dark caves to unpack some stuff, man, because I'm so known as the good guy, which is cool. I have no
Sure.
problem with it. Like I love adding value to the world, but y'all don't know that there's another side, and I want to tap into that. We'll see. I think it's coming.
What about, like, say for example, if you was to be giving, well, let me ask you it this other way, because there's multiple ways of going in Hollywood when
Yeah,
it
yeah,
comes
yeah.
to you getting roles.
Mhm.
Is there a specific director, or yeah, a director that you would love to be with, to be able to learn the ropes even more, because we're always learning, correct?
Mhm.
So is there a director that you would love to actually play as an actor for a certain film, he or she?
Ooh. As a director, I would love to tap into the mind of Stephen King. I mean, I
Stephen
know he's more
King.
of an author, but
Yes.
like his ability to convey ideas are brilliant. And I feel like, what I mean? Like I want to know what that's like to
Yes.
bring that out in people and really go to that place. I'm sort of it's which is really interesting because I'm really more of a players coach type of guy. So I like that the directors who were actors, right? Because they have a different a connection that seems to transpire. But I think that would be a lot of fun, man. It's one of those things where that dark side and just being able to really unpack some things. But then you have brilliant minds like Will Smith, who's a brilliant
Yes.
talent, but being directed by him from someone who had no history, right? He didn't come through schooling. He had to learn as he went, and I feel like that what he would bring to the table is something that could activate me that much more, that I would be able to relate to it. Or like the Jordan Peele, who
Mm.
is just astounding, right? Like, yeah. As far as I'm concerned, I watch a lot of Key and Peele now just to see the interworkings of what they can bring out of the character.
Jordan Peele, I will have to say, I can definitely see you playing in a Jordan Peele movie.
Man,
And his mindset, if you're talking about a villain or a thriller,
mhm.
like this new one that came out, Nope, right? Or even Get Out, it was something of a twisted mindset where you
Yeah,
will be able to play that, and
yeah,
then everybody will still like what you do when you step
yeah,
out,
yeah,
step out of the scene.
yeah, yeah.
I
It,
really like, and I think that is awesome. I mean, I that is really really awesome. So when it comes to obstacles, because as an actor, you have your ups and you have your downs, and then days are just perfect. Like, wow, where did that come from?
yeah.
As far as with obstacles, what obstacles did you go through being an actor, and are you still learning from these obstacles, or have you
Yeah.
accomplished them?
Well, two things. One, remembering where you are in a moment in time and being present is always key. I said Stephen King, I meant George Lucas.
Yeah.
You'll get it later. But it's really that, right? Like there's so many things happening in life when you're not acting until
Mm,
you are in the top five, top 10, right? There's so
yes.
many other things you're also juggling. So the obstacle is to really be present, to really, when it's time to study, give myself to that. When it's time to practice, because we don't like practice in a secluded space, we practice in real life with family
Yes.
and friends, trying to
Yes.
hold that mindset of that character and how would that character respond. Making sure that you're present while also doing other things is sometimes probably a big challenge. The other thing is in this new world of self taping, waiting, right? You don't really get an indicator. How did I do? And
Yes.
so my brother, he taught me, like, man, you have to develop the mind that says, doesn't matter, on
Right.
to the next one. Like, so it's like you have to be present and you have to be willing to let go. Don't get me
Yeah.
wrong. When I tried out for Hamilton, I was like, call me. And you just couldn't get it out of I couldn't get it out of my head. I didn't get it, but I couldn't get it out of my head. And that's a trap. That's one of those obstacles because it prevents you from being present and getting the next one. So
Yeah.
that's the thing that comes to mind for me. It's making sure that you're present.
Yeah. I like that. I'm digging that. I like that. I really like that piece because it helps you continue to grow. It helps you continue
Yeah.
to learn. And that present moment. Anxiety also happens as well too when you think about it. That means that this role, and you're like, I really don't want to make a mistake. I want to make sure that I get it. I want to make sure that the director Stephen King is gonna love me, right?
George
And
Lucas, George Lucas. But you're right. It's true. And that's the thing. You can't come thirsty. Like I was just listening to your story about how you got this job.
yes,
Once again, major kudos to you. And you finally did not release your tape till you felt like that's just I'm being a version of me.
right.
And if you think about it, those are the actors that win the most awards that we
Mm,
appreciate the most. Those that find themselves and allow the character to come through it versus those trying to conform to a character where we all can sense sort of the fakeness or trying too hard.
yes.
It's our ability to bring ourselves to the table. And so letting go of that need to have it allows that to happen. Otherwise that energy comes with it.
I think that's one of the struggles in human beings in general when it comes to, whatever position that you make, I would say, I'm saying like it's NFL, but whatever position that
Yeah,
you're
yeah, yeah.
playing as an actor, as a CEO, as a regular staff worker, you have things that comes to you in that present moment as how do I fix this? How do I troubleshoot this as a human being to get better? right?
Yeah.
And I think that that is key to like a lot of solutions that we go through, right? And like, man, how do I know what this person's going to be thinking? You
Yeah.
know, when I step in front of them to give them, just like they gave the audition tape, I'm like, how am I supposed to know that
Right.
this person is going to
Right.
love or like
Right.
what
What
I'm
do they really
doing?
want? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
and thanks to Giovanna Salas, that's who hired
Yes.
me, and I'm really happy about that, and I think at the same time too, it's more of how do we get further by approval of someone who don't know you to
Yeah.
really say, oh, you're a shining star. And I think
Yeah.
that's where you're at when you actually started with the talent agency and
Yeah.
then you start going. Now, you also are you with multiple talent agencies as
Yeah.
well?
I'm with two. I'm with
With
two
two
right
of
now.
them. Yeah,
I'm with
that's
two.
dedication.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
And
I
and
like that.
and then I still work for myself, right? There
Okay.
is no, they're going to do it for you. If you want
Right.
to make it doesn't work that way. It's either going to be network and people or pure sheer hustle. I remember
Yes.
flying to New York, put myself on the plane, no guarantees, to go find out to star across from the Incredible Hulk in the film that he did. And I didn't get it, but I remember being there and putting in the space instead of waiting for someone to say, let's try him.
Yes.
No, it's part of my daily ritual to find out what's out there and attempt to put myself in a situation to play instead of hoping, hey, pick me, pick me.
Yeah.
It work that way. So yes, I have two agencies, but I work for myself. I go get it.
That's great, man. That's great. Good for you, man. Good for you. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you. So, when it comes to influencers in your life,
Yeah.
who can you name a few,
Hmm.
if you have, or multiple ones? You've been in this industry for quite some time.
Yeah.
Influencers in regards to keeping you maintaining in the industry is key. Once you're there, it's about maintaining. Or do
Yeah.
you have any influencers that helps you maintain your stability as being an actor
Yeah. So you want in the industry or just in
in
my life?
in the industry?
Awesome. In the industry, I mentioned him earlier, Harold Dennis. Listen, he has more acting credits than any top actor you want to name. The guy's at something like 250 or something like that. And the reason why I bring him up is because he's always working. He's
Mm,
always perfecting. He's always redefining himself. And so that type of work ethic keeps me going. People
yeah,
like Kevin Hart, always reinventing themselves, always finding another way to bring a twist, always trying to find a way to manifest everything that's inside of them
yes,
so that the audience always has something to chew on, not only remembering him,
hmm,
but of quality.
yes,
Those kinds of work ethic just, they drive me. It would be easy to say if he just simply showed up on every show. It's quite the opposite. He's creating shows. One of my other peers from high school, junior high and high school, Leilani Smith, she's out in LA doing a lot of work as well. They're constantly creating. No, again, it goes back to what I said a minute ago. They're not waiting for someone else. So I love people who take their career in their own hands and find ways to be fully self-expressed, regardless of what's going on around them. Those are the people that I find as mentors. People like Kevin Douglas, amazing writer and talent, who also, I mean, this guy, if you ever catch some of his work, you'll understand what I'm talking about.
yes, sir.
Also, one always redefining and pushing me. He came through the Chicago ranks and blew on out in LA with his wife Tamala Perry. They're doing excellent work, but it's those people who put that grind in with creativity that inspire me.
Yeah, I like that because you know what that brings as far as an actor. I mean, it keeps your mind accurate, but also that entrepreneur state, right?
Yes,
You have that business state of I'm
yes,
continuously working, even while I'm sleeping. I
yes,
wake up with ideas.
yes.
And one of the things, of course, we need our rest. I know we definitely need our rest when it comes down to it.
Yeah,
But
man.
when we actually finally get there and we're waking up, and we know the first thing we look at was how can I be productive today? right? How can I become, in your case, how can you become a better actor, right? How can you make those great connections with people that's going to get you closer and closer to that red carpet where it will happen, of course. It will happen. But that's that entrepreneur mindset, that's, I think that's key. And I think that's where, you as a person, it becomes, and I talked about the influences, of course, within the industry,
Yeah.
outside of the industry as well, too. For example, my parents are my influencers outside of the industry,
Yeah.
right? That groundbreaking, and then followed with my friends and followed with my friends, and of course my brothers and sisters. They always, I'm the youngest, so they always play around with me. So, but it's those good influences, man, and I think that's really key. So I got one more question. We're about 3 minutes
Okay.
until it's time to let you go, man. Man, at 3 minutes, so at 30 minutes of fame, man, can go by so fast, baby.
I'll take it. Sir. I'll take it.
So inspiration for yourself, because
Yeah.
there's the youth. We always want to think about the youth when coming up. What
Yeah.
advice can you give to the youth in regards if they want to become an actor or an actress or in this entertainment industry?
Awesome. So, sheer work. It's going to take work, but the real work is not you out pushing it, you out doing the next thing or the next gig. The real work that it's going to take is in here and in here. So take time to read, take time to study, deal with your drama, deal with your weaknesses, because those are the things that are going to allow you to show up. You're going to be told no significantly more than you're told yes. And if you
Yes.
don't have the wherewithal within you, it's going to be a long, long road and probably not as much fun as it could be.
Wow. That, I mean, that's really deep, because everything should definitely come from the heart if you have a passion for it,
Yes.
right? If you have a passion for it, that's definitely should be able to come from the heart and say, hey, I want to do this. I want to work as hard as I can. We're not going to let self-esteem, depression is going to come, because that's part of failure,
That's right.
right? But from what you're saying is right on. And also you're thinking with your heart,
Yes.
right? Those two are the brain and the heart. I mean, you can't function, if
Yes.
you don't
You'll
have
be
those.
running
So,
rampant, or you can succeed and get
so
wiped out because you weren't ready. Go ahead, sir.
yeah, yeah. That's, Marquise, I have to say, you're such an inspiration to me. You're such an inspiration as far as to the world. You're always positive, and I check you out as far as when you go live as well. Just to give those positivity Mondays that you actually have, and you throw the twist, kind of like what I do as well too. When I throw a little bit of twist, that they think that it's going to be one thing, but then it's actually another, right? But that's also that good acting as well too, that creative mind, right?
Yes, exactly.
But man, I want to thank you, man. Thank you so much for being on my first
Thank you, man.
episode, my first show for Heart of Hollywood magazine. And also, if you guys want to check him out, he's also Marquise Martin Hayes on Facebook. You can find you there, correct?
YouTube, Instagram, all over.
Okay.
Just Google me, as they
Just
say.
Google you.
IMDb, all of it.
Yes, sir. Hey, well, I want to thank you so much for being on the show with me. It was a blessing to actually have you here, Papa. I appreciate it, man. Much success to you, man. And it's not the last time, of course. I'm going to always talk to you, but thank you so much. Everybody, put your hands together. My man, Marquise Martin Hayes. Yes, yes, yes. I'll see you soon, Papa. I'll see you soon.
Blessings, man.
Later. All right, everybody, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning in with me on my first interview series of Heart. I'm so happy. Heart of Hollywood magazine. I'm so happy to be here. This is my first episode, so of course you can use that as a blooper. But thank you guys so much. I'll be back for another episode for each and every one of you guys to enjoy into entertainment business as well as film and all of that great stuff. So you guys have a great day, and always stay safe out there. Love you, darling.